Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to week 1 of world making. Today, you will be designing your very own island using landforms. Landforms are features on the Earth's surface, which include volcanoes, hills, islands, canyons, deserts, oceans, rivers, jungles, mountains, marshes, waterfalls, and plains. As you are mapping or modeling your island today, think about the environment you'd like to create. You can base your island on places that you've seen in real life or on things that you've only imagined. Maybe you can even create a mixture of the two. Will your island be icy and monochromatic? Or will it be tropical and colorful? Will your island give a view of endless mountain ranges or of a dense forest? Will your landforms be solely based on what you've seen, or will you let your imagination run wild? It's entirely up to you because it's your island. In order to create a 3D model of my island, the first thing that I need to do is find a base. I find that cardboards or thick papers like cardstock work best. I found this piece of cardboard from something that was shipped to me and I just couldn't pass it up because of all these really cool wavy lines. So this is what I'm going to use as my base for my island. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a marker or a pencil and I'm going to create the shape of my island. If you've ever seen a map before, you've probably noticed that the edges of land are jagged and uneven. So in order to help myself do this, I'm not going to look at my base as I draw the shape. I'm going to look away as I draw so I can make it nice and funky and jagged. So here is the shape of my island. Now I can take my Play-Doh or any other kind of modeling dough that I have in order to make my island. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little less than half of it and start shaping it to the lines that I created for my island. Notice how I'm pressing in order to spread it out. So now I have the shape of my island. I touched all of my lines with my Play-Doh, and now I'm ready to start creating landforms. Think back to the pictures that I showed you earlier in this video and think about how you would sculpt it. I want to create a mountain range that goes off to the side of my island here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a worm with my Play-Doh. To create a worm, I'm going to take my dough in my hands and I'm going to roll it into a ball. Next, I'm going to take the ball in between my two palms and I'm going to roll it out. It's going to start making a worm. When my worm gets too big for my hands, I can take it on the table and I can roll it back and forth until it's as long as I want my mountain range to be. Next, I can add my worm on top of my island. And to make sure that it sticks, I need to make sure that I push down onto my island shape. So I'm smoothing everything together. I want my mountains to be kind of pointy. So to help me do that and to get it to break up, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take any kind of tool. I can use a pencil or a pen, anything that I have available. I'm going to start pressing my pencil into the Play-Doh. As you can see, it's already starting to break up the Play-Doh and it's starting to look a lot more like mountains. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to take my index finger and my thumb and I'm going to pinch my mountains into the shape that I want them to be. I want mine to be very pointy and tall. So I'm going to pinch very carefully and gently until it's the shape that I like. I can also take away Play-Doh in order to make landforms. Another landform that I would like on my island is a lake. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away some of the Play-Doh on my cardboard. As you can see, it's left a nice little hole in my island. I'm going to use that to reshape it to the shape of a lake that I would like. So I'm just pushing my Play-Doh away until I get a shape that I'm happy with. Maybe I would also like a river going through my island. In order to do that, I could pinch again, or I can use the end of a pencil or a pen and rip some of the Play-Doh away. Maybe I also want a foresty area on my island. There's a couple different ways that you could go about creating trees. If you have toothpicks, you could set a toothpick inside of your island and you could make a tree shape to go on top and stick it on. Another way that you could make trees, if you do not have toothpicks like me, you could pull off small shapes, and we're just thinking about the tops of the trees. So when I think about the top of a tree, it's usually leafy and full. So I can pinch my Play-Doh into funky shapes to represent the trees on my island. And again, I'm just thinking about the tops of the trees. Maybe there's different types of trees on your island. I know that when I think of mountain ranges, it changes from those big leafy trees to pine trees, which are more like triangles. So maybe I could also make some triangular trees on my island that are almost like the shape of a mountain. Now I'm going to finish building my island, and I'll come back and show you some ways that you could add some finishing touches if you'd like. So now I'm finished building my island out of Play-Doh. I've let my island dry, and I could either upload it to Padlet or Flipgrid as is, or if I want, I can add some color to it at this point. In order to add color to your island, there's a few different options. You can use paint, you can use watercolor, or you can even use Crayola markers to add color to your island. I'm going to be showing you using a little bit of all three so you can see what they look like. So here is my completed island. I've decided that I would name my island Helios. Remember that painting is a step that is optional and not one that you need to take in order to do this assignment, but as you can see, it is quite a bit of fun if you do have some paint available in order to do this. I cannot wait to see the islands that you decide to create on Padlet or Flipgrid this week, and I'm super excited for your descriptions and your names for all the different islands that you'll come up with this week.